all different type of couples.
Yeah.
Even like in the fashion industry, I got to hang around in the fashion industry in France. You see some of these beautiful models that you see all over television and you know, the premiere ads, clothing, hair, and all that. And they be with some of the guys. You like, how in the world did this guy
hit her?
Maybe on a subway and walking, like no, not even a car.
Yeah.
And it just shows you like, wow, we're so materialistic, and women fall into, and the guys fall into, oh, he gotta have this, he gotta have that. And they just be, if I love you, I love you.
Right, you're right. Yeah. Welcome to the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, I am live on location at Papillon 25 in South Orange, New Jersey. But in the Urban Suite, we have a very special guest. I am so looking forward to speaking with him. My urbanites, guess what? Follow me. You are entering the Urban Suite with Dr. Lisa LaCon. Let's talk about urban issues plaguing our community.
Good to hear. That's good to hear.
Let's talk about mental health. Lisa.
What's on the menu today? What's on the menu there, Mr.
Hey
Kelly?
man, we got
Councilman
a little shrimp, we got a little scallop, and we got a little brochette chicken.
What kind of sauce is that? Is that avocado? What is that? Avocado?
This is not avocado, but it is scrumptious.
Okay.
No, but it's a little lime, a little ginger. You know, good for the body.
And then of course,
We
good
are
for the
at
body.
Papillons, you know, so they always make some things that are good for the body. A plethora of choices.
All right. And we got the nice Caesar salad over
A little
here.
Caesar salad. I don't really do the bread chunks, but
It looks good though.
you know, I'm gonna leave that to my chief of staff. He's a bread guy.
All right. Before y'all get too comfortable over here, what we working with over here, Miss Carolyn? Oh, we got some nice coconut shrimp. Is that what we're working with? And Mr. Sabor, what you got going on back here?
Calamari going on here with the marinara, and we got a house salad with a nice balsamic dressing.
Okay. All right. So we got the calamari.
Extra crispy because I love the bread.
Okay.
You know they say Marty Martin love the kids. Sabor love the bread.
Okay, that's good. All right. So we're right down here at Papillon's. Where we at, Lisa?
Papillon 25, South Orange, New Jersey, 25 Valley Road. All right, so we have in the Urban Suite today, Councilman Dupre Kelly, West Ward of Newark, New Jersey. So listen, my urbanites, he's going to be talking about his personal agenda for his ward. He's going to be talking about beautification issues and other events that are going to happen in Newark, New Jersey throughout the course of the summer. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I have been working at Blessed Ministries, and now, believe it or not, I definitely see at least 400 candidates per month, helping them with jobs, training. I bring in companies to interview, do recruitments, set up job fairs. You know, I'm really engaged.
And oftentimes, the first impression is a lasting impression, especially to employers. Give people an idea of what we may see on a day-to-day basis.
Some of the individuals we're dealing with, they're young. And you figure over the last 3 years, most people have been in the house. They really didn't have any dress code standards. Everything was done via, internet or computer. But now we coming out of all of that. You know, I get a lot of people that come in with wave scarves, you know, scantily clad clothing, you know, not becoming a lady or someone looking for a job. Oh, well, go ahead, because I can keep going on.
Oh, okay. On some real job interviews, and I'm going to act ratchet. Got a button up on so it could look like I'm ready for an interview, but I'm coming in there with some booty shorts on and some slides, period. Hi, I'm looking for the man.
All right, so look.
The wave scarves on, they won't take their hat off. They got these black and miles on the side of their ears. Some people, they don't have a filter. They just curse in public, using the F word, using the N word. And I have to correct them on a regular basis. This is not proper protocol.
Right.
Why did you come in not looking interview ready? Like, you don't have on the attire of an interview.
I have on a white button up. What do you want me to do? Put on a suit and tie? I have a white button up,
At least
sir.
look interview ready.
Are you looking at my breast?
I'm not looking at your
Okay.
I'm looking.
All right, so let's go down this list.
Yes.
Her attire is inappropriate. She's very combative, dismissive. Her language, she's using profanity in the interview. And the reason to be hired, she said, because she wants to travel and hang out with her friends. And then she's just impolite, her whole behavior. Like, this is the manager. She has no respect for him. She has no respect for the company. And to be perfectly honest, the way she carries herself, she has no respect for herself. All right, so we are back with Councilman Dupre, Kelly, in the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon. Yes! So the last time we actually spoke, he had to leave because an emergency came up. It was a horrible situation. Yeah. Tell us a little bit what happened.
We had a young lady, a young 4-year-old that was hit by a hit-and-run driver. In the Roseville section of Newark, New Jersey. And not only was she hit, but her father was hit. Her sister was hit. He had one of his baby girls in his arm. He had the other one holding her hand, walking across the street. And a hit-and-run driver hit them, all of them. Put the father in critical condition. The little girl that he had in his arm, she wasn't badly hurt, but she had scrapes and bruises. And the one that he was holding her hand, who they affectionately call Mama, she passed away.
Oh, see, I didn't know any of that. I just, oh my gosh. But as a result of that, what did you all do?
Well, I mean, it just made the city go into proactive, reactive mode. And what I mean by that is trying to find the hit and run driver, which we haven't found yet. We know the vehicle, it was on video. It just really ruined their family's life.
Oh, I'm sure.
She had brothers and sisters who were out of New York, older brothers and sisters from a previous marriage of her father. He was the centerpiece to their families. And well, he is, because he's still living, but it just really ruined their family. And we had to come to the city as a whole, had to come to, in the community, had to come to their aid to help them out. And we're still there for them. And we put up stop signs in the area and striping down.
Wow.
But I don't even really like to say that, because that's us being proactive.
Right.
Reactive.
Right.
After, when we could have been proactive about situations like that. And so it's just a sad case all around.
Wow.
And we still haven't caught the guy, so we're still looking for him.
Well, my prayers are with the family for sure. Yeah. All right, so moving on.
Moving on.
All right, so both of us are in our 50s.
Yes.
All right. Now, when
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
50.
I am 53.
You look
Yes.
amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. And I have 4 children.
Oh, wow. Lord. How old?
So the oldest one is 24.
Okay, all right.
18 to 24. They're literally 18 months
All
apart.
right, mine's is 35. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So are you a granddad?
No, she's
Oh, okay.
she's a good girl.
Oh, okay.
No, shout out to Alnisa.
So
Don't be
it's
calling me this weekend. I need to talk about anything. No.
So when we reach that age of 50, oftentimes things happen. So we just had a guest on my show, Dr. Bryce Ratliff. We're talking about colon. Have you had your colonoscopy?
Shout out to Dr. Ratliff.
Tropical sprue, like I said, celiac sprue, you can have an inflammatory colitis. So you have inflammatory disease, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, all those things that require heavy doses of corticosteroids and big gun treatment just to calm the inflammation of that portion of the body down. So gut health is tremendously important. It can contribute to your mood, weight loss, bloating, that kind of thing. So there's so many things that go into gut health, and I can't hope to encapsulate it all in one discussion. But yeah.
Ironically enough, I'm getting a new primary doctor.
Okay.
Because I asked my doctor, since I was 45, should I take the test? And he sent me home tests to take. And I've taken the test, and he would say, everything is good. But my mother, she's an old school lady. Boy, did you take your colonoscopy yet? I was like, colon, what my colonoscopy? And I would say, no, I didn't take the one, the old school one. I've taken the new one. You take it home by yourself. And she said, no, that don't work. So anyway, my brother, we got on the phone together, and he said, let's make a promise to each other that we will go and get our test done.
Right.
So we went in and got the colonoscopy test, and we got the other one.
Which one?
One of the doctor has the violate man. Everybody out there see my finger, he got to violate the man.
But that's important.
No, yeah.
It's important. It definitely is.
It's important to get violated at 50.
Right. Well, hey. And then you have to drink that drink.
Yeah, you have to drink that, to make sure that
everything is clean.
Right. I'm joking, but this is really important.
It is.
Right? It really is important, and a lot of Black and brown people, we don't really take advantage of going to the doctor. And men, period, right?
Yep,
we don't go to the doctor as often as we should. You beautiful ladies, you take advantage of all of that.
That's true.
If something aches or hurt, you're going right into the doctor. Men, we'll tough it out, or we'll try to tough it out until it's too late. I've lost so many friends over the years who tried to tough it out, and they didn't make it.
Right.
From diabetes to stomach cancer to colon cancer to so many different things. So please, men out there, please take care of yourself. Go get yourselves checked out. And speaking of health, right? We are doing in the West Ward of Newark, New Jersey, we are doing a big health festival.
Oh, when?
It will be, I believe, May 21st.
Let me write that down.
I believe it's May 21st. Chief of Staff, is it May 21st?
May 20th.
May 20th.
See,
okay.
That's why you have to.
See, that's why we got Chief of Staff
May
over there.
20th.
May 20th, in the West Ward at Donald Payne Technical High School, and we're going to be talking about everything that matters about health, Black and brown health specifically. It's going to be an amazing event. We have an amazing company that's coming up to help us facilitate this, and it's called BHM, Black Health Matters. Shout out to Deidre Tate, who helped me bring it to the city. And shout out to my staff, like Khadija, who is actually helping us put it together. But we're going to be talking about everything health-wise.
And mental health as well.
Mental health especially.
Oh, wonderful. That's my alley. That's my passion.
Oh, mental health especially. And, it's just important that we take care of ourselves, not only physically, but mentally as well.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So what time is that? It's May 20th.
It's going to be all day.
Okay.
It's going to be probably from 8:30 a.m. to maybe 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
And, we're going to have Red Man in the building.
Oh,
we're going to have
nice.
some prominent hip hop artists, some actors like Tobias Trevelyan.
Okay.
And reached out to J.D. Williams, who's from Newark. We're gonna also have Mayor Raj J. Baraka and some of my fellow council colleagues. But more importantly, we're gonna have the community, our seniors, our youth, and talking about why health matters, but specifically why does Black and brown health matter?
Yes. I think oftentimes, especially in our community, we have a distrust of physicians, of therapists, and it's like, I don't want to go, and But what I see now that is happening, we see, well, at least for me, I see more Black doctors, more Black therapists, but we do need more because we're only like, I think, 2% psychologists, African Americans. That's it. That's about it. And then out of that 2%, how many are really good,
Right.
So May 20th at, where is it?
It's at Donald Payne Technical High School in Newark, New Jersey. Specifically the West Ward, Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
9th Avenue, Newark, New Jersey.
All right, so the Urban Suite, we will be there.
Yes.
May 20th. Absolutely. All right, so what else are you all doing in the West Ward?
We're doing so many different things. We have while I was campaigning, my idea was to revitalize the West Ward, right? And that sounds so broad. That's what a broad stroke.
Right.
What does that mean? What does that look like? And it means so many different things on so many levels. It's not just brick and mortar. It's also changing the mind state of the people. And the people that I'm talking about are the business people who are there, the people who would like to be in business, the entrepreneurs. How do you educate them so that they can be wealthy? How do you educate them so they can notice what wealth is, so they can identify what wealth is? Because when you see a bodega on the corner of your block, you might not realize or think that the owner has accumulated wealth.
Absolutely.
If he or she has been in your neighborhood for 20 plus years, so we want them to be able to identify what wealth is, to identify what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And what we're doing is we're calling in stakeholders in the business world, banks, we're calling in corporations who actually benefit off of our community, but also we're calling in the people who line our corridors, the businesses that line our corridors. We're partnering with Partnership West Inc., which is PWI, which we call them, which is our bid in our community, in our West Ward. And we're bringing all of these people together to educate the people who are there. And we're going to hold some businesses feet to the fire, so that they can hire people in our community, so they can educate people in our communities. I'll give you an example. When I lived on 19th Street in the West Ward, there was a Spanish bodega at one end, at the south end, and then there was a Black bodega at the north end of my block. And on this block, I would go to Mr. Thomas was his name. I would go to his business and I would see the trucks come in with all of my favorite potato chips, Bonton barbecue back in the day. And I would see them bring that in. I would see them bring in the boxes of lemon heads, all the stuff that's not good for us. But it tastes great. But my point is, I wondered, how did he pay these guys? How did he count the inventory? How did they know to bring that
that amount, that volume, And I asked Mr. Thomas, can I watch him? Can I shadow him? And that's where I got a lot of my business acumen from. Just watching him, seeing what the inventory was, and seeing what it took to open up and close up and sweeping the floor, and So I think that if you allow the people who are in your neighborhood, at least 2 to 3 people, men and women, to come in your store and shadow the businesses that are there, they will see that it is possible. They will see that even though it does not look like it is thriving, that it is thriving right under their eyes. Sometimes if you don't see it, you don't believe that you can be it. But when you see it and you understand what it is, you know that you can do it as well. So, and that's what we're doing in the West Ward. We're trying to show people and teach people that they can be it, they can see it, and they can actually do what it takes to thrive. we do put people to work. So, a question. What about the youth? How are you educating the youth on that? Because sometimes I think I work with adults, and sometimes I'm like, okay, it's a little bit too late for them. So how are you tapping into the youth with that model?
Well, you have to utilize the youth for that model, and everybody, right? You have to ask them what it is so that you can put what you have in mind into play. So we're incorporating the youth because they are all entrepreneurs. These youth these days don't want to do any labor.
That is so true.
They don't want to do any labor.
Right.
You know, and that's just the times that we
in.
Everybody's here with the
or
games or like this, you know, they're like this, and they're here on your phones. So they don't want to really do too much labor. So you have to meet them where they are, right? And that's technology. That's on cell phones. That's on gaming consoles. You know, they don't even want to buy homes for the most part.
Well, do you think the tide will change with that?
I'm sure it's a possibility. You know, as the times change, so will the mentality of the people. You know, but currently as it is, I think that you educate them, and that's a task, right? How do you educate someone for a job that doesn't exist yet?
Right.
Cash App didn't exist 10 years ago.
Right.
You know, there's so many upstart tech companies that did not exist 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but yet they're billion-dollar businesses,
right?
With young entrepreneurs who wear sneakers with their suits.
Yep, I love it.
And I'm
I love it. I love it. Hey, you guys, guess what? We just reached 10,000 subscribers. Yes. Thank you so very much for tuning in with me in the Urban Suite, Dr. Lisa LaCon. And guess what? You can find us every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of those platforms. And again, I just want to say thank you so very much for my YouTube subscribers. And always remember, when you enter into the Urban Suite, this is when you laugh, learn, cry, and Now, in the Urban Suite, I did a show about AI technology, artificial intelligence.
Oh my God.
And how it can affect the Black community. What are your thoughts about AI technology in the Black community?
You know, I gotta look at the camera for this one. Parents, adults, anybody of authority, please, please, please take artificial intelligence serious. We talk about it, we laughed about it 10, 20 years ago. Oh, it's the type of thing that moves a gaming console forward, or no. Music, I come from the music industry, right? There's a app that takes acapellas of all your favorite artists. Let's just say Jay-Z, for instance. Take all of Jay-Z's acapellas, you put it into this system. You take all of Jay-Z's interviews, you upload it into this artificial intelligence system. I can play you a record right now where Jay-Z is rapping. And when I ask you, who is that? You will tell me with no doubt, that's Jay-Z. And it's not Jay-Z. What the artificial intelligence does is take all of the information and then it reprograms itself to be better than the person that you gathered the information from. So here is this record that sounds just like Jay-Z, just like Kendrick Lamar, just like Biggie Smalls, just like Lords of the Underground, but it is not them. I mean, the cadences, the flow, even when Jay go, all you have to do is type in a topic. Write about this show. Write about Lisa. And it will take all of Jay-Z's information and make a song about you.
Yeah.
How the artificial intelligence presumes that he will talk about you.
Right.
It's unbelievable. Now, I'm not just talking about music. If it can do that with music, why can't it take all of Barack Obama's speeches, all of your presidents of a bank? Why can't it call your children while you're not home at work and utilize your mother, your father's voice and say, baby, I'm outside, open the door. I'm bending down in my car. You won't be able to see me right now, but open the door. Meet me on the corner of such and such. Don't worry, just walk there. This is very serious. This is very scary. And I think that the Copyright Office, other than likeness, other than words, other than appearances, I think that we have to change the rules and the policy of the Copyright Office to now put the voice likeness, the audio likeness. Because if you don't do that, you will be going to court to try to prove that wasn't you.
Yeah, we did a couple of segments, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it's very frightening.
Very.
You know, it was so interesting because we grew up with the Terminator, the first one. That was in 1979, something like that.
Yeah, she predicted it.
Yeah.
The beautiful black lady that they stole her whole entire story from.
Yeah, she really did. And then even with The Matrix, she was the same woman.
Yep.
And here we are now, getting prepared for that.
Yes.
And then when it comes to entrepreneurs, how do we, like you said, how do you prepare for an industry that isn't here, or we don't even know if the industry is going to exist because of AI?
For real.
Yeah, because of the AI technology.
You know what, too, Lisa? Like I used to sit in bed and watch. I'm not a TV watcher, but maybe on a weekend, late night in a hotel on the road with Lords of the Underground, I would see these IBM commercials that would just say, Watson.
Yes.
Then it goes, the IBM slogan will pop up. Bing, IBM.
Yep, Watson.
That's all it would say. Then another commercial, like a typewriter, IBM, and then some type of computer graphic, and then it'd be like, Watson.
Yeah.
I used to say at that time, I said, man, we in trouble. Because here it is, IBM is not the most popular computer company at the time.
No.
But let alone, they're doing these commercials that has nothing to it except Watson.
See, now you were better than me, because I was totally confused. I'm like, what?
It's programming.
Yeah.
You know, I went to Shaw University and studied in radio and television, and I understood that this is programming. It's television, you know, so this is programming to get you prepared for something that doesn't exist yet. And then I saw Watson on Jeopardy.
He had a British accent, right?
Yes.
Watson, yes.
And he played Jeopardy.
And he won.
And he won,
of course.
But there's this game that's very popular in the Asian continents called Go. It's like a game that's higher up than chess. And Go has it's a mind game that's unbelievable. It's a strategy game that's unbelievable. Like I said, it's probably a few steps above chess. And on this game, they have this guy from China who's the world master of the game. It's called Go. And he played Watson. And Watson beat him. He played another computer the computer beat him. He played the AI, and the AI, he got like 3 moves close to almost winning against the AI. And then only to find out that the AI only makes moves to win. So it doesn't matter how close you get to him or not. And then it learned that the AI started to make moves that no human has ever done. So no human has ever done these moves because they don't think that far with their brains and with their minds. So that means that the AI will take the information, do it until it starts to create moves and start to do programs that never existed.
Right.
So that means when you implement AI into something, it will be able to recreate itself and take over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But hold up. Are we saying Councilman Dupre Kelly is against technology?
Never.
Okay.
I'm just telling you the possibilities of
What's gonna happen.
what could happen.
So how we prepare our kids for this technology? How we make them the users of it?
Well, that's the question.
Creators of it.
That's the question I just proposed to Lisa.
Yeah.
Like, how do we prepare ourselves for things that have not yet been invented?
Right. So yeah. Hey Urbanites, you're watching my live interview with Councilman Dupre Kelly, and we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back after these messages.
Peace, family. I said this was the year of AI, and I meant it.
Biggest threat to humanity right now.
It's just AI. Meaning that the general public can get access to it because the possibility of people using it, right, for various different reasons that are nefarious, such as using other people's voices and saying whatever they want.
AI will only be a threat to humanity if it doesn't want humanity to be here, right? Like that's where it's a threat. Otherwise, I think there's like the micro or much more soon threat of what are people going to do?
Hey, it's Jonathan. I wanted to see how close I could get to cloning a voice using less than 30 seconds of audio.
Biggest threat to humanity right now is just AI.
This is insane technology, and I'm really scared right now.
The world will be displaced by technology. What does that do to the fabric of society?
You are entering the Urban Suite with Dr. Lisa LaCon. Let's talk about urban issues plaguing our community. Let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about sex.
I got it. How you doing?
Mr. Montague, how you doing?
Through the Department of Labor, and I'm loving life here. I'm getting the opportunity to help my community move forward. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm going to continue to be here. I'm never going to stop working with my community. I'm never going to give up.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Do It All Dupre Kelly. Councilman Dupre Kelly, and you're watching Urban Tools for Change Network. Hey Doc, where you at? Dr. Lisa LaCon. You already know how it goes down. Come on.
All right, so speaking of mental health, so oftentimes when I go through different neighborhoods, you can tell the quality of the neighborhood by the environment, how it looks. So in terms of beautification, street lights, litter, things of that nature, how do you think that impacts the mental health of your constituents?
Well, I think it's very important. You know, the way you see something is the way you react to it. You know, so if you see a bunch of trash on the ground in your neighborhood, when a car drives by you, you're probably most likely to throw that bag of McDonald's that's empty out your car window. You're probably one of the ones most likely to add to the mess. But when you see it not that way, you know, some people say Newark is that way because people throw things out in the trash, but South Orange is not that way because you don't see any trash. I think that it's important. You know, the way that you see something is the way that you react to it.
Right.
So, you know, if you see dark areas and you're into crime, you think that this might be a great place to do crime.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, that's why we try to get lights that are bright and, you know, so I think that is very important. The way that you see something is the way that you react to it, and that's mental, right? That weighs in on your mental health.
Absolutely.
So you know we have to do better as a people to know that this is not acceptable.
Right.
We have to stop blaming things on others and help. And what I mean by that is if you rent the home, but you don't necessarily own the home, sweep up in front of your property. Clean the property because you utilize it. Right? You know, you utilize it. There's some people who rent furniture. Just because you don't own the furniture, you're not going to clean it off.
Right. And I think that's a mindset. That's that has to be penetrated, and because people just don't understand. If they don't work hard for it, there's a sense that they don't appreciate it. I remember when I was growing up, I got my first job at McDonald's. And I bought my VCR, my TV, and I took such great care of it because I worked hard for it. But I think sometimes people think, you know what, I didn't really work that hard for this. This is not mine, so I don't respect it as much. And I do see that as a problem and as an issue. And it goes back to what you were saying about wealth. Because if you don't establish the wealth, how can you own anything? And I always tell people, graffiti artists, I'm like, when they're tagging things, I'm like, many graffiti artists probably don't own property. Because if they did, they would think, how much does it cost to remove the graffiti? It's not just $10. It's a whole bunch of money that you have to spend as an owner for that. Now, you said that you went to Shaw University.
Yeah, but Lise, before we go on to Shaw, I definitely want to just kind of talk about ownership. Right?
Okay.
There's so many different ways to look at it, and I believe that you're right. I believe name denotes ownership, right? So, signature, when you sign the line for the contract, you're saying that I understand the terms, or I am now the owner, or whatever that is, or I am the owner of this debt. Whatever it is, name denotes ownership.
Right.
So even with the graffiti artists who do not own the property that they're so-called defacing by the owners who own it, but they feel like they're putting their signature on it. And in different cultures, if you put your signature on it, you're claiming some rights to it.
Well, they need to pay the mortgage.
They need to do something, right? But and I think that's the mindset, right? That's the mentality that we deal with. Hip hop has been that way as long as I can remember.
Right, yeah. Tagging and all that stuff.
Not even just in that element of it, but taking things that is not theirs and turning it into theirs. The world has been that way.
You said samples, right?
Right. The world has been that way, right? I don't think anything that's ever been invented just came out of the blue sky.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because inspiration and influence comes from somewhere.
Right, absolutely.
Comes from you just looking into the ocean, looking into the sky.
Right.
Listening to a friend of yours, hearing a passerby say something that sparks something in you. So it all comes from somewhere for you to create what is now. So we get everything from everything around us.
Right, yeah, you're right.
Know? So it's a mindset of what you do with that education, what you do with that knowledge, you know. And back to you saying, how lighting affects our area, how trash there or not there affects our area. You know, these windows of the souls that we call eyes, it takes that information and it puts it in the mind, and it moves your body on in your heart and your soul on what to do. You know, and even back to Mama, little Mama that got killed, you know, hit with her family. You know, as soon as that happened, we wanted to make sure that the lighting was bright out there. You know, we wanted to make sure that the striping on the ground was okay. We wanted to make sure that the stop signs or the traffic measures were in place. You know, even though being reactive, we need to be proactive like that in all of our situations. By cleaning up, by having DPW department, you know,
public works
are cleaning our area, street cleaning, but it's not just about cleaning. It's about programming the mind. It's about doing programs to let them know what it is. When you do business summits, it's about showing that there is equity in our community.
Absolutely.
You know, and that you're involved in it, you know, and this is how you can become a valuable business partner in your own community. You don't always have to leave, but it is cool to go away and acquire knowledge.
Bring it back. Right, exactly. Exactly.
And that's what we're doing in the West Forward with our business summits. That's what we're doing with our Black Health Matters, with our health summits, is to show people that because if you're not healthy, then you can't even go out here to be an entrepreneur to gain wealth.
Absolutely.
And it really shows you that health is wealth.
So it's interesting because outside on this street on Valley Road, I don't know if you're familiar with this intersection, there have been a lot of pedestrians that have been hit. So what they've done, they have these flag things that we hold up. It's like this bright orange, because there's no street light or anything, and you just hold it up and wave it, and so far so good. It's been, you know. But the reason why I mentioned Shaw, you actually pledged Alpha Phi Alpha, right?
19 over 6.
Oh, sorry. Well,
he sound like he must be.
What do you think? All right. So we have the Kappa, the Alpha. I'm a Zeta.
Okay.
All right. Divine 9 up in here. Divine 9. Your HBCU experience. How was that?
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah. And it was amazing on so many different levels that I got people to see. You know, I got to see people that look like me. You know, who were inspiring to do things. And, you know, on a grandioso scale, and see people who would be our future doctors and lawyers and radio personalities and television personalities right there in front of me, and I was educated by those same people who look like me. You know, and it felt good to be able to understand that the people who come from similar situations that I come from are aspiring to do things great in our city, our state, our country, you know, and abroad. So it just kind of gives you a certain you know, energy that
it does
for our culture, right? For our people, that, like, we've come from such a long way, and it's not just about labor,
right?
It's about the work, but it's not just about labor.
So I bring that up because talking about the beautification project. So I'm going to ask my source if we could assist in whatever way to help the West Ward.
Please.
Gamma, Omicron, Zeta. That's my chapter
You know,
here.
I got a couple of female cousins that's Zetas too.
Oh, yes.
Shout out to Robin and them from the
Yes.
Bronx.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
Shout out to my frat brother, Mr. Funky. Love to the underground.
Hey, why don't we just get Divine Nine to come to the West Ward, help us out
Yes.
with the West Ward, man.
Yes.
You know, the Zetas, the AKAs, the Alphas, the Kappas,
Yes,
the Qs,
that's
the Sigmas,
right. Yes.
you know, the Iotas,
That's right.
the Gammas. You can bring the Gammas on.
That's right. That's right.
You know,
The Deltas, yes.
Cleanup.
Yeah, Divine Nine cleanup for sure.
But that's what it's
Absolutely.
about, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's about us doing it together.
That's
so,
right. That's right.
You know. And the residents.
That's right. Absolutely.
You know, we
absolutely.
need to get you guys involved as well.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah,
So
I'll
you heard
bring
it
that back.
first.
That's right, right here in the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon.
That's right, Doc.
Any more? What do you?
You can wrap it up.
Oh, okay. So, Councilman.
Doc.
Oh, thank you so very much.
Thank you so
oh
much.
my goodness.
Thank you so much. I
Yes,
appreciate
yes.
it.
And hopefully I'll see you May 20th.
May 20th, yes. Yes.
Now what time will you be there?
It's at 8:30, so I might be there at 8:40.
Okay. All right, you guys. I thank you for coming into the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon and Councilman Dupre Kelly of the West Ward in Newark, New Jersey.
Yes.
Until next time, Molly.
And before we go, I just want to make sure, give people their flowers.
Oh!
While they're still here.
Yes, thank you.
Urban Suite.
Yes.
Salud.
Got it? Yes. Perfect. Oh, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Councilman.
Thank you.
Now, for the most part, some people may feel a little uncomfortable about the graphics, about what we're going to discuss, because we're going to talk about our colon.
Ew. Respectfully.
And basically, some of the things, our body parts, you know, we get a little uncomfortable with it.
This is very uncomfortable for me. I don't know what to say.
People are like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God, it's so nasty.
We have to talk about it because at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, forgive me, some of us may be full of shit. Holy shit.
But the caliber of the stool is like the shape. We have our slide here. You can see
Right.
kind of
Let's
the
pull
pellet
this
form.
up.
Yeah. You see kind of the pellet form. So we have like various extremes. So we've got an oily stool at the bottom, and then we've got the pellet form at the top.
Our bodies are going to be what they're going to be.
So you have different types. According to this image is provided by Livy, there are 7 types of stools here. So this is what I was talking about, which may be uncomfortable for some people. But the reality is we have to have these conversations.
Did you forget how to have a conversation?
And you have to look at your stool.
Wow.
Don't be afraid of it, okay?
Don't be afraid of the mess. That's the key.
So type 1, this is the one that's like constipation. Separate hard lumps like nuts, and it's hard to pass.
Hard pass.
Okay, that's when you're constipated. Type 2 is mild constipation, where it looks like a sausage shape, but it's a little lumpy. So you see that one?
Well, what food have you been eating?
And then type 3, it says that it's normal. It looks like a sausage, but with cracks on the surface.
I've never had sausage.
You never had sausage?
And then type 4, it looks like a sausage. I can't read this. It looks like a sausage or a snake.
Watch out for those snakes now.
I'm just glad the snake was the only thing in it if you catch the jib.
Snakes on the plane.
It looks like a sausage or a snake, and it's smooth and soft.
Because when the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
And then 5, type 5 says it's lacking fiber, soft blob with clear cut edges, passed easily. And then
Can you shut the door?
type 6, mild diarrhea, fluffy pieces with ragged edges, and mushy stool.
What are you doing here?
And then type 7, watery, no solid pieces, entirely liquid. All right, you can put that down.
Put the poop down. Thank
Right.
you. Put the poop down. She said, look at it. She did not say touch it. So let's remember that. Remain sanitary at all times.
That's right. Well, you know, as a mom, I used to look at my kids' diapers to see.
Ew. Respectfully.
You know, it feels uncomfortable to talk about these things, but we have to have this conversation and we have to normalize it.
It is never safe to fly during your trimester.
That's right. So so I was out the whole time. I just remember counting 10, 9, 8.
And that was it. Bottom line, they didn't do that to you though.
Well, I was asleep. I don't know what they did to me. I don't know what they did to me. I just know what the doctor told me he did, that he put the thing up there and took images of it. But the doctor said I had a colon of a 31-year-old. I said, thank you.
There you go. Extra bell rings. Love too much poo. I'm drinking Mountain Dew.
That's why you have
don't, but we're again. We got to suck it up for the greater good.
That's right.
I don't think that was the right terminology, but okay.
Yeah.
So, can I get a referral from you? For what? Medicinal marijuana.
Thank you so very much, my Urbanites, for tuning in with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon, with our special guest, Councilman Dupre Kelly of the West Ward of Newark, New Jersey. As always,